Continental Tire Coach's Corner brings us the Clippers head coach, Doc Rivers. Earlier in the show, we were bringing you the new Atlanta Hawks jerseys. Now, I believe those Hawks jerseys came out when Pete Maravich came to the Hawks, maybe a little bit before that too, but Trae Young and the Hawks wore that the other day, and I like those uniforms. I don't like the ones they have now. I like the, back in the 80s, the Dominique Wilkins Hawks jerseys were pretty cool, and then Maravich had those lime green uniforms with the Atlanta Hawks, but I like the old school Atlanta Hawks uniforms. Let's bring in the former Atlanta Hawk great, Doc Rivers. Head coach.
Wow. You said great. I tell you, the further you get away, the better you get.
I know.
So true.
If I had a contest with all the head coaches in the NBA, just shooting, who'd win?
I know who wouldn't win. So I would go Steve Kerr, maybe.
Oh yeah,
he was a hell of a shooter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay with him.
Let's see.
That's all he could do.
Can Popovich shoot?
I think he can shoot. I've seen him shoot. He can shoot okay. I mean, it's just like all coaches are better shooters. Than even when they played, or because that's all they do. That's all we do now. We just shoot. It's like you on a Papa shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you do it all the time, you become pretty good at it.
My Clippers are doing great. I've said this before a couple of times. I sort of look at the Clippers and the Brooklyn Nets in a similar fashion, that we may not know the names, but they play hard every single night. And I'm curious, how much fun are you having when you're coaching kids? And you got a young team, but they play hard every night.
You love it. That's one of the things that you have to have, and that becomes part of your talent. It's funny. I think people think that everyone can just play hard or play with energy. Those are two different things, and we have guys who have that gene in them, and so that helps. But Pat Riley used to say hard and smart, and I think hard sometimes not good enough. And though we're young, I think our guys play pretty smart and they play together, and I think that helps as well.
Who does Patrick Beverley remind you of? Anybody that you played with or against?
John Starks.
Okay.
Yeah. I played with John Starks, and very, very similar traits, very similar paths to the NBA. I mean, John Starks was packing groceries, and then made it to the NBA, and Patrick has been everywhere, and they have that same thing. They both believe everybody wronged them. They have a chip on their shoulders about everything and everybody. Every day, and that's what makes Patrick Beverley tick.
But I love it when you go against the Lakers. He doesn't care, if it's LeBron or anybody. His attitude is, I don't care, and I don't know how you use that as a coach to let it sort of permeate the rest of the team, or if you want that to happen.
Well, you do, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But obviously, putting him on LeBron was thought about, and we felt like it could be to our benefit if we have some success at it. Because the entire team sees Patrick Beverley guarding LeBron James. That doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense, but it did. LeBron is going to have a great game, most likely, no matter who guards him anyway. You can look at it that way. But if you have any little bit of success, and with Patrick, it's huge. And I thought it was big for our team.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, but the Clippers have dominated the Lakers in the last couple of years. But do you still feel like there's that inferiority complex or chip on, the shoulders of the Clippers when it comes to the Lakers in town?
Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, it's the Lakers, and the Lakers are in L.A. They've been in L.A., and they've won titles in L.A. So to say they have a head start would be an understatement. But this team and then the teams in the past, they do look at the Lakers as a rivalry, as somebody they want to beat. And, we've been very, over the last 5 years, we've been extremely successful against them, which makes you feel good. Now, there's no doubt about it. I don't know what else it does, though, Dan, to be honest. It just makes you feel good.
He's Doc Rivers joining us, Continental Tire Coach's Corner. I love what you did with Dirk Nowitzki. And now, you didn't do that with Dwayne Wade. You were winning one of the games and losing the other one, weren't you?
Oh, definitely. I told D Wade recently after the whole Dirk thing. I said, man, if you had played a little worse, you would have got the tribute, man. But, if you remember that game, I think Dwayne Wade had like 6 threes. They came in and upset us. It was a close game down the stretch, and so you missed the opportunity.
But what made you think in that moment, or did you just think in that moment, let me stop the game with whatever 10 seconds to go just so this crowd can say goodbye to Dirk?
Yeah, it was spontaneous, Dan. I was standing near midcourt, and I swear I look out on the floor and I see Dirk standing there. The game's decided. There's 9-10 seconds left. And I turned and grabbed the mic. I had no idea what I was going to say, what I was going to do. And I didn't know. It just worked out. Like, usually you call a timeout. Both teams go to the huddle. When I grabbed the mic and, implored the crowd, to cheer for Dirk, he deserves it. He's been such a great ambassador for the league. You know what? I thought what Rick Carlisle did was let them stay out on the floor. And so if you think about it, nobody ever went to their huddles. Everyone stayed out on the floor. And I thought that really helped. So, it was one of those things that was spontaneous and worked. And I'm just so happy that it worked for Dirk because I thought he deserved it.
What do you think Dirk's impact on how we look at the big man or how the big man plays? When we look back on Dirk Nowitzki, what kind of impact do you think he had on 7-footers or guys who were that big going outside?
I say look at the game. There's been 2 players to me over the last 30, 40 years that have really changed the way the game is played. Magic Johnson made every big guy think he could be a guard. And then Dirk took it further. He made every big guy think he can shoot. And so now when you watch the game, there's no team that doesn't have a 4 that stretches the floor. I don't think there's one team you can say that about. Every team has one. Or they're willing to put their 3 at the 4. And a lot of that is due to Dirk.
I also look at Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry may have the biggest impact on the NBA because all of these young, kids who are 6 foot, 6'2", 6'1", like everybody feels like they can play the game. I'm not 7 feet. I can't play the game like Dirk Nowitzki, or I can't jump like Jordan does. I can't play the game. But these kids, it feels like everybody wants to be the next Steph Curry. What do you think of that?
I agree with that. I think he's the one now. Him and James Harden a little bit, but I would say more Curry. Because when you look at Curry's size, first of all, he's bigger than everyone thinks. I think a lot of people look at Curry because he's not, you don't see the muscles. They think he's like the 6-foot guard. He's actually about 6'4", 6'5". But the way he shoots the ball and the distance he shoots the ball, and also his ball handling, Dan, like his ball handling is flashy and amazing. I think those 2 things with his size allows every player. You go to AU games. Remember, you go to AU games 10 years ago. What was everyone doing halftime or before the game? They were dunking. Now you go to an AU game, no one's dunking. Everyone's standing behind the 3, taking shot after shot because they know that's what they have to do.
Have you ever had a player, when's the last time a player said something to you, like trash talk you as the head coach of the Clippers during a game?
From another team?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Draymond Green probably does it every time we play them.
What's he say to you?
Yeah, because we have this running thing. It started, I still am proud that we are the last team to beat Golden State in the West. And if you remember that series, Draymond and I got into it. They beat us in game 1. And in game 2, Blake was having a big game. And I started, which I never do. I looked at Draymond. I said, there'll be no whining tonight. And then he got upset. And so he started calling me Glenn.
Oh.
And so now, so now every time we play, hey, Glenn, how are you?
So he's going with the given name. You're not worthy of Doc. He's going with your given name.
I'm no longer worthy of Doc with him.
Call him Jamal. That's his middle name.
Oh, is it? I need to know that. That's good.
Yeah, Draymond, Jamal Green. Yeah.
We play them in a week, and if you see us getting into it, it'll be your fault.
I mean, it's not exactly Bird or Jordan trash talking, but it's sort of with today's game.
Yeah, Bird was ruthless because he would attack your mental. I would make like 3 shots in a row, and Bird would like run by you and say, "Oh wow, first quarter. Let's see if you can do that in the fourth." Or he'd say stuff like that to make you think. The trash talking today is pretty weak.
But because Bird had a couple of good games against you guys, so he had some room to like he could say something. You couldn't exactly say something back to him, could you?
No, what could you say? I mean, he'd score 60 on us in a game that our own team was cheering for him. So, after that happens, there's not a lot you can say.
It's still the best video that we ever show because oh, God. And we talked about this when I saw you in L.A. When you had those guys on the bench and they were falling off the bench, Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston, and poor Mike Fratello. He's trying to coach, and, Bird's killing you guys, and Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston are falling off the bench like, oh, my God, what are we witnessing here?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that much. And the film session, like I told you, was brutal. It was brutal that next day because that's all Mike showed. He didn't show Bird scoring. He showed our guys on the bench. Thank God he didn't have a telestrator. That would have been awful.
Did Dominique talk trash at all?
Yeah, he was a good trash talker, but it was more about obviously offense, and you couldn't guard him. He had this thing about jumping. Like he used to say, everyone can get to the top floor, but very few people can get to the penthouse. And he would say that all day. I can jump to the penthouse, and I used to say, well, that's true.
Who jumped better than him?
Oh, no one in our era. If you looked at some of the dunks, he did show dunks in the middle and to end of games. He won a game against Milwaukee, which I still think is one of the greatest dunks ever. It was a game-winning show dunk. He double pumped and dunked over, I think, Sidney Moncrief to win a game. You don't ever see that, and that was Dominique.
He could jump better than Jordan?
There were different jumpers because Jordan was a 1-foot jumper. So I think if you were looking at it, it was prettier to watch Michael jump. It was more violent with Dominique because he's one of the greatest 2-foot jumpers to ever play the game. The 1-foot jumpers look better because they stay in the air longer. But Dominique off 2 feet was amazing.
Hey, Doc, congrats on the season so far. The team is fun to watch. You just make me stay up too late to watch them, but it's worth it. They're fun. That's a young team, man. You got a couple of, 20, 21-year-old guys out there starting for you? Yeah,
we got 3 guys, 3 rookies starting right now for the most part with 3 guys under 21.
Yeah.
It's awesome. They're great kids, man. You would love them. They're all they want to learn, they want to get better, and they play hard. That's all you could ask for.
Thank you, Doc. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks. Nice talking to you guys.
That's Doc Rivers, Continental Tire Coach's Corner.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.